Cade Cunningham entered the NBA as one of the most hyped prospects in recent memory. While not on the level of hype we saw with Victor Wembanyama, Cade was the consensus number 1 pick in his class that fans of teams wanted to tank for. In his rookie season, Cade showed the signs of the future franchise player he was hyped up to be, but a slow start and eventual season-ending injury early on in year 2 has made people sour a bit on Cade, especially with other players from his draft class playing so well. But he's back now for year 3, and he showed the rest of the NBA in his year 3 debut that he's out for blood. But quickly before we go any further, if you're doing like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways you can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Cade. In his season debut game against the Miami Heat, Cade Cunningham had 30 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, shot 13 for 27 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3. While on the surface, 30 points on 27 shot attempts feels inefficient. The fact that he didn't take any free throws really changes the perspective on those shooting lines. Yes, a 55.6 true shooting percentage would be average if he took a decent amount of free throws, but considering he took no free throws at all and took 27 shots, a 55.6 true shooting percentage is actually fairly impressive within that context. I was really impressed with Cade Cunningham as a shooter in this game. He showcased on and off ball versatility, but I was really impressed mainly with his ability to create offense for himself. He seemed very comfortable with his form, which is something that's very encouraging because he's been working to tweak his form for a while now, and at least in this game, it was the most comfortable he looked with the slightly tweaked form that he's been working on since he entered the NBA. He felt confident as a shooter, never got the sense that he was afraid to shoot the basketball. He took a lot of threes, went 4 for 9 from deep, which is really good, especially considering it a healthy shot diet. I was also very encouraged by him going to the mid-range more. I said it in a previous video about him, but I feel like he's a very capable mid-range shooter, but I felt like he didn't utilize it enough. And I want him to utilize it more because I feel like utilizing the mid-range will expand his game. So if this is a sign of things to come from his shot diet, I would be very excited if I was a Pistons fan. I also was really impressed with his playmaking. Now, he was viewed as a playmaker entering the NBA. In fact, at least to me, among guys I've evaluated, he's up there among the best playmakers I've evaluated as prospects. Finished the game with 9 assists, which makes sense because, again, he is one of the best young playmakers in the NBA. His vision and feel are elite. He's creative and understands his gravity as a player. All the signs that you look for in a lead playmaker in terms of feel, creativity, vision, and production, he showed last night. I think this play here really showcases his ability to manipulate gravity. With Martin on his hip, he has a one-on-one advantage in this situation, which causes Thomas Bryant to step up to bring help because Cade has been hitting jumpers all night at this point, and he's a major threat as a pull-up shooter. However, this also leaves Jalen Duren open. He's going to pull back to draw a trap, which allows Duren to be wide open as Duren's matchup is now fully focused on Cade. While he isn't a great shooter, I do think Killian did a really good job of relocating on this play to free up even more space for Duren. And the space created on this play leads to an easy finish at the basket. Now, Cade isn't a perfect player by any means, and he wasn't perfect in this game either. He had some lazy pass turnovers. I felt like there were times he could put more zip on the basketball on his attempts. Also think the handle could get a bit tighter. I don't think he has a bad handle by any means, but he could tighten up a little bit. And the big thing for me was the foul drawing. I know In a vacuum, scoring 30 points and not taking the free throw is impressive, especially for an on-ball creator like Cade. That is impressive. It shows your ability as a pure scorer. And I do think to an extent, he has a bad whistle. I also think he could improve his foul drawing technique. He has shown to be capable of drawing fouls in the past. He has the frame, he has the strength. He also has good finishing intangibles as well. Like I mentioned in the previous video, he's very good at using his strength and handle to get to his spots. The thing for me is, he needs to improve his decision making as a finisher. Not in the sense of when's the right time to attempt to finish at the basket, or when's a better time to pass out, or maybe go with a pull-up jumper, but in a sense of being less hesitant. I feel like he hesitates a decent amount on his drives, and even though he has the strength and skill to be a good finisher, that hesitancy really hurts him at times. It's something that has always been a thing with him. You never question the pure ability, but there's just this one thing with how hesitant he could be sometimes that could affect him as a finisher. I do think he can get better at this as he becomes more comfortable with consistent reps post-injury, but it is an area that needs to get better to reach his full potential. Cade Cunningham showed a lot of the signs that made him the consensus top prospect and first overall pick in 2021. The signs of an elite playmaker and scorer. He does have things he needs to improve on, like his foul drawing and finishing, but I am confident. I'm just as confident in his upside now as I was when he was a prospect. And he's one of the 5 best prospects I've ever evaluated. Now, granted, it's probably going to go down when Cooper Flag becomes draft eligible, but still, that's pretty high. I've been doing this since 2016. I think he knows the expectations he has to live up to. I think he knows that there's talk around, hey, there are other guys in this class that have looked really good and potentially are being viewed as better than him. I think he knows all of that, and I think what he did last night was a message that he still is here and he still went first overall for a reason. I know the expectations were high for him entering the NBA. I think he knows the expectations he has to live up to as that first pick. And he has all the talent, intangibles, and wiring to live up to those expectations. Now, it isn't a guarantee that he is the best prospect from his class long term. Mobley is on an all-time defensive trajectory and has pretty good offensive upside. Franz has all-NBA upside as a two-way high-level wing. Giddey has made strides every season and is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. Scottie has a ton of potential in his own right as a versatile two-way monster. But I still believe in Cade. I still believe he was worth the first overall pick because he fits the modern archetype and has a lot of upside. And I do see a world where he is the best player from his draft class. He will need to improve his foul drawing to reach his full potential, but I do think it's realistic for him to potentially improve in that area because he does have the tools and intangibles to do it. I just have a hard time ruling out a 6'7" point guard with his skill, intangibles, feel, and wiring. He could be one of the best playmakers in the NBA one day. He could be a high-level scorer, 25 plus points per game potentially. He could be the offensive engine for a contender. That's the potential he has. I still believe he has All-NBA to MVP caliber upside. Now, only time will tell if he becomes that, but if what he showed last night was only a sign of things to come, I am confident he will live up to the pre-draft hype. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. And I just want to thank you guys. The off-season support for content was incredible. A lot more than I expected because the off-season is usually a very dry period for NBA content. And the fact that you guys showed as much support as you did, and I was able to grow as much as I did, over the course of the off season really means a lot to me, and I can't wait to see what we do as a community, what I do as a content creator this upcoming season. And this is just the start of the season. This is the first video that I made for this season, and can't wait to see where we go. Again, thank you guys so much. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.